Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Welcome back to the Aseto AI Education Series. My name is Michelle, and I'm the AI Education and Communication Lead here at Aseto AI. I'm thrilled you're with us today, and for our second session, AI Agents Where Prediction Meets Action. Over the course of this webinar, we're going to build on the foundations we laid in AI 101 and explore one of the most exciting and practical applications of modern AI. We'll look at how this technology is moving beyond just providing answers and is now being put to work to autonomously handle tasks, make decisions, and take action on our behalf. So let's get started. Before we dive into our topics, for those of you who may be new to our series, let me briefly introduce who we are. Aseto AI is a specialized provider of custom AI agent solutions. Our primary focus is on developing advanced voice AI agents and omnichannel solutions for a range of sectors, including businesses, healthcare, hospitality, and public sector institutions across the European Union, and with a particular focus in the Greek AI space. A core part of our mission is a deep commitment to transparency and education. We believe that the more people that understand these powerful technologies, the better equipped they'll be to use it effectively and responsibly. And really, that belief is the driving force behind this entire webinar series. All right, so let's look at our roadmap for today. Now, before we jump into this agenda, a quick note. We'll be building on some core concepts from our first session. So if you are new to AI or would like a more foundational video, please feel free to just pause here and check out our first webinar, AI 101. This webinar helps lay the groundwork for the concepts that we are about to cover today. First, we'll do a quick recap of the single most important idea from AI 101 to set the stage. From there, we'll define exactly what an AI agent is and how it represents a major leap forward. Next, we'll dive into the anatomy of an agent, looking at the core components that allow it to perceive, reason, and act. Once we know how they work, we'll look at where they work, covering common business cases, and walking through a real-world example of an agent in action. Finally, we'll explore some advanced agent concepts and wrap up by discussing the most important part, the collaborative partnership between humans and these powerful AI tools. We have a lot of exciting ground to cover, so let's dive in. Okay, so to kick things off, let's do a very quick one-slide recap of the single most important concept from our last session. And that's the fundamental difference between traditional software and modern AI, the split between deterministic and probabilistic systems. On the left, we have deterministic systems. These are all about certainty. Think of a calculator. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4 because it follows pre-programmed rules. In the business world, this is the engine for automation. Now, on the right, we have probabilistic systems. This is all about likelihood. Instead of a fixed rule, these systems make a prediction based on data, like a weather forecast giving an 80% chance of rain. This is the engine that powers modern AI. So just keep these two core logics in mind. One is based on rules and the other is based on predictions. So this distinction, automation follows rules, AI makes predictions, is what leads us to the starting point for today. For years, the world of business AI has been centered on that prediction piece, analyzing data to give us an insight, but now the game is changing. The new question, and the entire focus of our webinar today, is this. What happens when an AI can take action based on its prediction? When you combine AI's ability to predict with the ability to act, you get something entirely new. You get an AI agent. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. To make this idea of prediction plus action more concrete, let's look at the very beginning of a real interaction with an AI agent. In this short clip, a user is starting the process of booking event tickets. Pay close attention to the exchange. So we're seeing a simple and clear exchange. The user has selected a goal to book tickets to the theater, and the agent asks a clarifying question. How many tickets are needed? But what happens next? The real power of an agent isn't in just asking, how many tickets do you need? The power lies in what it does after it has the information it needs. How does it find the right event, check for available seats, process the payment, and send the tickets to your email, all without needing a long list of step-by-step instructions? To understand that, we need to first properly define what an AI agent actually is and what makes it truly autonomous. So what exactly is an AI agent? At its core, an AI agent is a system designed for one primary purpose: to independently achieve a goal on your behalf. And this brings us to the single biggest shift in how we interact with this technology. For decades, we've had to give computers detailed step-by-step instructions. To schedule a team meeting, for example, you had to think through every single step. Check one person's calendar, then another, then find a free slot, book a room, draft the invite. It's a long checklist you have to manage. But with an AI agent, you don't have to provide the instructions, you provide the end goal. You can simply say, organize the project kickoff meeting for the design and sales teams for next week. The agent understands this goal and then autonomously figures out all of those immediate steps for you. That ability to move from following instructions to achieving a goal is what we mean by autonomy. And that's what makes agents so powerful. To really appreciate the leap in autonomy, it helps to see where agents fit in the evolution of conversational AI. On the far left, we have the foundation, deterministic chatbots. Their logic is purely rule-based. If a user says X, the response is Y. They're excellent for simple FAQs, but they follow a strict script and can't handle anything unexpected. The next step are the early AI assistants we're all familiar with, like Siri and Alexa. Their logic is based on intent recognition. They're trained to listen for a specific command or intent, like set a timer for 5 minutes, and then activate a pre-programmed skill. They're more flexible, but early versions of this technology couldn't handle complex concepts or multi-step goals. And that brings us to today with modern AI agents. Their core logic is reasoning and action. Instead of just matching a command, an agent understands a complex goal. It can then reason, create a plan, and take multiple actions across different tools to achieve that goal. So as we move from left to right, we can see a clear progression from following a script, recognizing a command, and truly understanding and acting on a goal. That is the evolution of autonomy. So how does an agent act autonomously? It operates on a continuous 3-step cycle. It perceives the world, it reasons about what to do, and then it acts. This perceive, reason, act loop is the fundamental engine of autonomy. Now let's look at what is happening inside each of those steps. Here we have a deeper look at the perceive, reason, action loop. Let's break down what's really happening at each stage. So it all starts with perception. Think of this phase as the agent's professional translator. You give it messy, unstructured human language, like a spoken request. The translator's job is to listen carefully, transcribe it perfectly, and then highlight the key pieces of information, like dates, names, or the core intent of your request. This process is critical because the agent's brain doesn't think in sentences, it thinks in structured data. Now, once the agent has that structured data, it moves on to the reasoning phase. This is where it acts like a strategic project manager. It looks at the goal you've given it, consults its resources, both its short-term memory of the current conversation and its long-term knowledge of your preferences, and then it formulates it into a precise step-by-step plan. It's essentially creating a detailed to-do list to get from your request to the final result. And finally, with a clear plan in hand, the agent moves to execution. This is where the agent becomes a skilled operator, picking up the right tool for each step in its plan. These tools are the APIs that connect you to other applications, like your calendar or your CRM system. So when its plan says schedule the meeting, it doesn't just think about it, it picks up the calendar tool and sends a precise command to get the job done. It's translating its thought into a tangible digital action. Now, let's zoom in on a critical part of that reasoning phase for a second. For an agent to create an effective plan, it needs more than just the immediate information you gave it. It needs context. And to have context, it needs memory. Agents use two distinct types of memory to be truly effective. First, there's short-term memory, and you can think of this like a sticky note for a current conversation. It's what allows the agent to remember what you just said a moment ago, keeping track of the immediate context. Then there's long-term memory. This is like a more permanent file cabinet. It allows the agent to recall past interactions and remember your specific preferences over time, enabling a more personalized experience. It's the combination of both short-term context and long-term knowledge that allows an agent to move beyond being a simple command taker and becoming a truly helpful, personalized assistant. The agent uses its memory to create a plan, but a plan is useless if you can't act on it. And this brings us to the final part of the loop that we're zooming in on, execution. An agent doesn't just perform actions in a vacuum. To get things done in the digital world, it needs tools. Now, a tool in this context is simply a secure connection to another piece of software, made possible by something called an API. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Essentially, it's a set of rules and definitions that allows different software applications to communicate with each other. It acts as a digital contract defining the precise way one application can request a service or some data from another, and the format of the response that it will receive in return. This allows an agent to securely access a specific function within another program, like checking the calendar or sending an email, but without needing to know the other complex inner workings of that program. So as you can see here, the agent uses the right API tool to connect to your calendar, your email, your CRM, allowing it to control the software that performs real-world tasks. So if memory gives the agent its brain, these tools and API are what gives the agent its hands to interact with the world. Okay, so now we know the full anatomy of an agent, from perception and reasoning all the way to execution with tools. Let's now ground this in reality. Where are businesses actually putting these agents to work? We generally see applications fall into four categories. The most common starting point is in customer service. This could be an agent that intelligently solves common support tickets or, as we've discussed, fully automates the process of scheduling appointments, available 24/7. But agents are actually just as powerful internally. For internal operations, they can serve as an IT help desk for your employees, guide new hires with onboarding, or automate those complex, repetitive business processes that slow your teams down. Next is data analysis and reporting. An agent can be connected to your business intelligence tools to monitor data, generate reports on demand, or even answer plain language questions like, what were our sales in the European market last quarter? And finally, on an individual level, they're a huge boost for your personal productivity, helping to manage your calendar, draft and summarize emails, and organize your daily tasks. Across all of these areas, the goal is the same: to offload the complex, repetitive work so that people can focus on what matters most. Let's make AI agent use cases more concrete by walking through the entire process with a single end-to-end example: an agent handling a simple appointment reschedule. It all starts with perception. A customer calls and says, I need to reschedule my Friday appointment. the agent perceives this unstructured spoken request. Instantly, the agent moves to the reasoning phase. Using its long-term memory, it identifies the caller and finds the existing Friday appointment in the system. It understands the goal is to reschedule and forms a plan to find a new time. Next is execution. To carry out this plan, the agent uses its tools. It connects to the scheduling software's API, checks the calendar for the next available openings, and proposes a new time to the customer. And finally, the agent acts. Once the customer agrees to the new time, the agent locks in the new appointment and automatically sends a confirmation email to the customer. So you can see how the perceive, reason, act loop, combined with memory and tools, comes together to handle a real-world business task from start to finish, completely autonomously. Agents can communicate in a few different ways, or what we call modalities. The first and most straightforward is text-based. Here, the entire conversation happens through typing. Think of an advanced website support chat or an AI coding assistant that helps you write software. A step up from that is voice to text. In this model, you speak to the system, it transcribes your words into text, and then the agent's brain processes that text before responding. Many modern automated phone menus work this way. And finally, we have voice to voice. This is the most seamless and human-like interaction. The agent understands your spoken words and responds in real time with a natural conversational tone. This ability to have fluid, real-time spoken conversation is a major breakthrough, and it's where some of the most advanced development is happening today. Voice agents are a specific area of focus here at Aseto. We specialize in building what we believe is the most advanced and effective experience, true voice-to-voice agents. Our technology is specifically designed to handle the nuances of natural, fluid human conversation. This is absolutely critical for complex interactions where a clear and efficient conversation makes all the difference in the world. We've talked about the power of true voice-to-voice interactions, but I think it's always better to show rather than tell. So what I'm going to do now is call one of our Aseto AI agents live through my computer. The agent is designed to understand specific business needs. I'm going to act as a potential client from a healthcare clinic and ask how I can help. Let's see how it goes.
Hello, thanks for calling Aseto. This is Maria. How can I help you today?
Hi, Maria. My name's Michelle. Nice to meet you. I'm calling looking for solutions for a healthcare clinic. We are very bogged down with calls right now, and we're looking for something to try and free up some time.
Hi, Michelle. Nice to meet you too. Aseto can definitely help with that. Our AI agents can handle calls, book appointments, and send reminders, freeing up your staff's time. Would you like to hear how it works in a clinic setting?
Yeah, when a patient books a appointment, do they receive confirmation? How does that work?
Absolutely. When a patient books an appointment, our AI can send a confirmation via text or email. It's all automatic, so your team doesn't have to worry about it. Want to know more about how it fits into your clinic's workflow?
How do patients receive the confirmation if they receive a text? What platforms would that work with?
Patients can receive confirmations via SMS, WhatsApp, or even Messenger. Our AI integrates with these platforms to ensure they get the message quickly. Would you like to know more about how this integration works?
I think I'm okay with the technical specifics right now, but how do I follow up to schedule a demo of this feature?
Great. You can schedule a demo by emailing us at info@aseto.ai or using the Contact Us form on our website. Would you like any help with that?
No, that sounds pretty straightforward, but thank you for all the information today.
You're welcome, Michelle. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye, Michelle. Take care.
Okay, so let's quickly unpack that. That fluid conversational capability is exactly what we were just talking about. More importantly, the agent didn't just follow a generic script. It perceived the specific industry I mentioned, healthcare, and reasoned that appointment scheduling would be a highly relevant solution to offer. It also answered my questions about appointment confirmations with full and complete information. That ability to understand context and provide a tailored, intelligent response in real time is what defines a modern voice to voice agent and is at the core of what we do at Aseto AI. What we just saw in the demo was a powerful example of single modality, a voice conversation. But the future of agents lies in their ability to understand and process information with multiple sources at once. That is what we call a multimodal agent. A multimodal agent can understand and combine different types of information, like images, text, and voice, all at the same time to solve a problem. So let's take a simple but powerful example. Imagine you show an agent a picture of the inside of your refrigerator. It's an image input. At the same time, you ask it with your voice, "What can I make for dinner?" The agent doesn't just see a picture or hear a question. It processes both of them together. It identifies the ingredients from the photo and understands your goal from the voice command. And the result is a synthesized output. It generates a complete recipe using only the ingredients it just saw. This ability to see, hear, and read all at once is a huge leap forward, allowing agents to solve more complex, real-world problems. We've seen that agents can handle multiple types of information, but what happens when a task is so complex that it requires several different specialized skills? That's where multi-agent systems come in. Instead of relying on one single monolithic agent that tries to know everything, a multi-agent system works like a team of specialized AIs to collaborate to solve a problem. The best way to understand this is to think of it exactly like a human project team. It starts when a user gives a complex goal, like plan our Q4 product launch event, to a single point of contact, a manager agent. The manager agent acts like a project lead. It analyzes the goal, breaks it down into smaller subtasks, and delegates them to the right specialist for the job. For example, it might ask the research agent where to find venues, the data agent to analyze the budget, the booking agent to check speakers' availability, and the communications agent to draft all of the announcement emails. As the specialists complete their work, they report their findings back to the manager agent. Its final and most important job is to gather all of those pieces, synthesize them into a single coherent plan, and present the final result back to you, the user. This approach allows AI to tackle incredibly complex, multifaceted problems in a way that is organized, efficient, and scalable. So now that we've seen some of these incredibly advanced capabilities, from multimodal understanding to multi-agent teams, it's absolutely critical to talk about responsible deployment. Like any powerful tool, AI agents require clear boundaries and a strategic approach. We see this as three specific considerations. First, you always need to verify agent outputs. Agents are designed for plausibility and not guaranteed truth and can hallucinate incorrect information. The action here is to always review and verify critical outputs before they're finalized, especially if the agent is using generative AI. Second, we must ensure secure integration. Because agents connect to your vital systems through APIs, it's essential to implement robust security protocols and strict access controls to prevent misuse. And third and finally, we must maintain human oversight. AI augments our abilities, but it doesn't replace final human judgment. The most effective and responsible approach is always human in the loop, where you provide the strategic direction and the final approval for critical decisions. While it's critical to be aware of considerations for responsible deployment, it's equally important to focus on the incredible positive potential. And that potential isn't about replacing people. It's about creating a powerful new partnership. The goal of AI agents in the workplace is augmentation, not replacement. It's about letting each side do what it does best. The AI agent is brilliant at handling tasks that drain our energy and time. It can manage repetitive, high volume work, process vast amounts of data, and it's available 24/7 to handle routine operations. And that frees up the human experts, you, to focus on the truly irreplaceable skills, things like strategic thinking, final judgment, creativity for complex problem solving, and most importantly, building relationships and showing empathy. When you combine the agent's speed and scale with human insight and creativity, you don't just get a more efficient process, you get better outcomes and a more strategic, empowered team. We've covered a tremendous amount of information today, from the basic definition of an AI agent all the way to a vision for the future of work. So as we begin to wrap up, let's quickly recap 4 takeaways from our session. First, we learned that AI agents represent the next major leap for AI, moving beyond just making a prediction and into the world and taking action. Next, we broke down the engine that makes this possible, the continuous perceive, reason, and act loop. Third, we established that while the goal is autonomous execution, it must always be balanced with essential human oversight. And finally, we saw that this technology is not about replacement, but about augmentation, creating a partnership that elevates our own capabilities. Keeping these 4 ideas in mind will give you a very solid framework for thinking about this technology. So, just like last time, I want to leave you with one final slide, a practical action plan to help you start applying these concepts within your own work. This is a simple 2-step framework to help you identify the best opportunity for an AI agent in your workflow. Step 1 is to find a high-value process and ask yourself, what is the multi-step repetitive thing that you do frequently? Does it consume a significant amount of time and energy? And most importantly, would automating it free up your time to do something more strategic? And once you have that task in mind, step 2 is to map the agent's actions. And this should look very familiar. Think through the process. What information does the task need to perceive to get started? What decisions or reasoning are involved? And what tools does it need to act upon to get the job done? My challenge to you is to take just a few minutes this week to go through this exercise for one task. I guarantee it will change how you see your daily workflow. And with that, I want to thank all of you for your time and attention today. I hope you found this session valuable, and if you did, please like and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to reach out to us and have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye now.